You're watching Talking Points, a focus on the political scene in Lubbock and across the South Plains.
And welcome back. Here's a look at some of the political headlines of the past week. Senator John Cornyn announcing this week that the Texas Tech Health Sciences Center will receive a grant worth nearly $829,000 to establish telehealth resource centers to help fight the spread of coronavirus. The money comes from the Department of Health and Human Services cut of the CARES Act, which was approved by Congress last month. And the Texas Railroad Commission decided this week not to vote on putting a cap on state oil production to try and relieve some of the supply problems that have sunk prices and oil jobs. Commissioner Ryan Sitton wanted to vote Tuesday to cut state production by 1 million barrels a day. The other commissioners wanted more information. They may look at this again next month. Monday's collapse of the May oil contracts probably was the last straw for a lot of smaller oil companies and the employees holding on to their jobs by a thread. Look at this crazy chart. It shows at the end of the day, Monday, people willing to pay someone $37 to take a barrel of oil off their hands. Now, June contracts should be much better, but right now they're going for less than $15 a barrel at last check, and that's not enough to keep the lights on, much less enough to add anything to the West Texas economy. KAMC's Wes Rappaport takes us through what happened.
It's an historic day in the energy business.
But not the kind of historic day Alan Frizzell hoped for. The Abilene oilman now faces the reality of the coronavirus crisis that's left cars in driveways and fewer planes flying with the fuel he provides.
Significant job losses in the service industry, drilling contractors, well service contractors, all of support industries that support the production in this area, the operators like me in this area. We really had a lot of job losses.
Oil producers around the state coming to terms with what happened.
They were willing to take a substantial loss just to get out of that one contract.
Kel Seliger represents the oil-rich Permian Basin in the Texas Senate. He says it may be time for communities to look for alternate streams of funding.
Even when oil prices are great or cattle prices are great, it's always a good idea to diversify your economy.
Meantime, operators are running through the possible scenarios to break even.
But I can see a time in the not too distant future where energy demand starts to come back more strongly. And at that time, production will be pretty sharply on the way down. So it's possible that we may see a growing demand scenario kind of intersect with a declining supply scenario and push prices upward pretty sharply. Well, that's the day I'm looking forward to, and I hope it's not that far off.
In Austin, Wes Rappaport, KAMC News.
All right, Wes, thank you. Let's spend 5 good minutes with State Senator Charles Perry, actually in studio, which is, for me, the greatest thing of all day. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hey, we were talking oil and the pandemic, and, House Speaker said this week that all state departments ought to start thinking now about cutting 5% right off the top of the budgets. Is that probably right with what we're seeing coming down the pike and some problems business-wise and oil-wise?
Sure. Every agency should consider where they can live without come next budget session and start today. You don't replace employees that leave. Attrition. There's easier ways to get your budget leaner without having to make massive cuts. It's still too early to tell. May, we will see April sales tax collections. Most people had momentum coming through March. So the state of Texas sales tax collections in May for April's lack of business and enterprise will be a very telling tale. And so the comptroller has said it best. I don't know what I don't know yet. And in the next 90 days, we're going to get a pretty good handle on where we're at. Encouraging news is we were 5% up coming into the virus.
You talked about the fact that you thought businesses should have already even been open before now. A lot of citizens, though, are worried. Tell them why this is important to reopen things now and not wait any longer versus a larger safety potential issue.
There's just so many tenets to that. So one, it's a behavioral psyche. There is joy in work. There is a health in working. People need to feel needed and significant. So on that front, you got a mental health debate I think that you should have. I served in Women's Protective Service 25 years. Usually your battering goes up when people are out of work. Dad's home, kids get on their nerves. So there's all of those angles. Secondly, we are fundamentally changing the work psyche, if you will. We've got a unemployment system through the end of June with $600 a week guaranteed plus. And a lot of people are looking at it, I don't care when you open back up in May, I'm not quitting until June. So you don't want that to be encouraged. So that reason. But on a safety front, number one, I think everybody understands social distancing. Number two, It's always been a market decision for me. If I don't feel safe, I will not participate. If I choose to participate, it's because I think I feel safe. So the process of starting back up is so many different reasons why, not to mention the fiscal impact. But we have some desperate people out there in the business community. Yeah. And they've looked at it and said, I can either be fined, imprisoned, or lose my livelihood altogether, but I have to go back to work.
I asked Martin McDougal this earlier, and I wanted to ask you the same thing. In this process of reopening now, should local governments have the flexibility to tell the state, because of our situation in our city and our county, we need to wait maybe to open business X, but we're going to go ahead and open business Y?
So I'll answer it this way. I think the governor's tried to push that down to a local level pretty much from day one. Now, I can make the argument that sometimes his executive orders were a little confusing on some level, but it left a lot of discretion and a lot of interpretation to the locals. And a lot of the locals have chosen a more cautious route. That said, it's time to open businesses. And to answer your question directly, we have, for the last 30-some-odd days, and people think it's been an eternity, it's been a pretty quick turn, picked winners and losers. And you cannot, in any concept of equal and fair level playing field, argue that a person that sells appliances at one venue can't when another big box store can't.
Right.
So if you're going to make policy, you have to have a fair and equitable field so that one's not gaining an unfair advantage. So a lot of sales have been made that'll never be back, or at least won't be back for years under this. And so whatever policy it is, I don't know how you can be industry specific and not pick winners and losers. You can have a different set of rules within those industries that says for a personal service that requires personal contact with you, we would encourage you to wear a mask. Again, if I think you should wear a mask and you're not and I don't participate, that's the market at work.
Right.
So it's time to have a market perspective, a little more market driven. Safety-wise, I hear a lot of conversations about where you haven't tested enough to be safe. I counter that with, we don't have a run on the hospitals with people that need hospitalization over COVID-19, so that's the counter to it. And the more tests we do, the more we find out. What was predicted very early on is 80% of the population will probably never know they had it, and a large part of the population will have gotten it. And now these testing are coming back that, yes, a lot of people had it, didn't know they had it, asymptomatic, and are healthy because of that immunity process are naturally occurring. So lots of things to happen here, but on a open me back up to work, you cannot pick winners and losers again in the next round. I don't think that a lot of these businesses in our region, Senate District 28 specifically, have another week.
May not at this point. Charles Perry, State Senator for District 28. Good to see you again.
Good to see you guys.